Let's open up the charts.
Hello, hello,
How we all
hello.
doing,
Can you hear me?
everybody?
Can you hear me?
Oh, who's that sexy voice on the other end of the? Must be some Mexico, Mexico,
Oh,
Mexico.
love it,
No
brother.
wonder
Thank you.
he's married, eh? Listen to this guy. I'm from Mexico. Chica bonitas come to my door asking me for my hand in marriage. And I say, do you
Salute
know
to
how
that,
to
man. There's
dollar
only
cost
one.
average into Bitcoin? And she goes, no. And he's like, oh, get out of here.
So. Well, it kind of goes like that. I can't confirm or
But
deny
then
that.
MJ comes up and she goes, I buy gold. And he's like, oh, yeah, baby.
Oh yeah, she's the one buying gold, man. Her portfolio is
You know what
way
you're
higher than
talking
mine.
about.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So,
too good.
how was your morning today, my friend?
I made $1,500 in 3 seconds.
Nice. FOMO. That's the FOMO, man. That's the FOMO right here.
No, man. It was. Okay, so literally 3 seconds, bro. Mark it in, mark it out. Okay? Mark it in. It was at 3,000 at one point. Okay?
Uh huh.
It was right here, $1,500 in 3 seconds, bro. Okay? What happened? So I'm looking for. Let's go one. We're in 1 minute here. So what happens is we roll over this morning, right? Right here. So you know, we give the long on the live stream here, bullish divergence, claim VWAP, continuation here. 786 rejection. Okay. And market opens. Okay. So market opens here, 9:30. And I'm like, this is one thing we said. I was like, this is a fucking trap. Okay. This is a trap. Because everybody's bullish, right? Because we've pushed up. I'm like, this is a fucking trap. No trade here, everybody. No trade here. So you get your trap. And what did they do? We're looking for, there's a nice order block in here, okay? So I'm looking at this order block in here with VWAP. I'm like, oh yeah, baby. Come to Papa, right? Looking to long here. Come to Papa. Now, as we dump, we go crazy, right? It goes, Donald Trump tweeted, right? Orange man farted. That's what I say now. Orange man farted on the charts, man. This is totally a Donald Trump fart on the charts. I said, if let's go 30 seconds. If oh my god, it's too fast. I'm like, if we reclaim VWAP, I'm long. That's I told
Oh
everybody.
shit.
If we dip down and we reclaim VWAP, I'm long. So I marketed in long here, and I was up $3,000 up here, and I market closed right here, so I made 1,500. So it was crazy, but I've never made money so fast in my life. Literally 3 seconds, man. Bing bing. Look at this is a 5 second chart.
Holy
Mark it
shit.
in. 5. Mark it out. Gone. It's pretty crazy.
He
Pretty
was,
crazy.
man.
So it was fun though. I had fun. I had fun. And then
How couldn't you, man?
you gotta have fun, right? You gotta have fun.
Absolutely.
Now, the thing is, we're filling another order block down here. I was about to long here, but I don't like this. Why don't I like this? This is like a perfect top, bro. This is like, look at this, man. We got three drives, bearish divergence up at our very big resistance level. Okay. Big resistance in here. Okay. So needs to reclaim this. This area in here is a support and resistance flip. Okay, we talked to everybody about that yesterday as we were pushing. If we zoom out here on the 12-hour and we look at this, okay, never mind all my lines, but you can see very clearly big volume nipple. Okay, big support and resistance flip. Okay, acceptance. We don't even need to pull this all the way out here. Acceptance into this range here. Okay, so we are trying to hold on to 90,000 right now. So we're trying to hold as the bulls want to hold here. You see how we split the difference? So any sort of retracement, we want to see them hold here for continuation. Look at how beautiful that balloon dog is, OC.
Oh, holy!
You can't not
Jesus.
see it. It's everywhere.
It is.
It always eventually, eventually you're probably gonna get a balloon dog necklace because you're gonna make so much money off of it. You can be like. So we have ranges within ranges. Now the thing is, there is.
Did I lost your audio? Is it just me?
Now, for looking at our oscillators too, on many time frames, very overextended, okay? 12-hour, daily. Daily's got a little bit of room, but very overextended, especially on your 2, 3, 4-hour time frames, okay? Beautiful topping pattern. Lots of liquidity. I mean, this liquidity can come all the way down to here if you wanted to. Parabolic, right? Parabolic. So what do we look for? We should have been this morning when this thing happened, okay, and I mentioned this to everybody, is that when you get something like this, okay, if you're a technical trader like we are, right, who cares about the news, what did the news allow the market maker to do here? The news in 1:30, we saw it. What was it? 30 seconds? 30-second candle allowed the market to go whoop and sweep. Okay, what does that do? This grabs anybody who is short here, anybody who's short here. Let's say their stop loss is just above the high. It allows them to sweep and then send price down. We see this time and time and time again. Okay, let's go and look at some references. We want to go to the downtrend. Okay, everybody. But you see here, before it sends it down, right? This is very common practice. Before it sends it down, whoop, one last sweep of that high in here, right? Very common practice. Look at this one. Downtrend. Oh, we're going down, whoop. Then we go, okay? There's another one. Look at this one. This one's vicious, man. Look at that one. That one waits until it dumps. So if you get short in here, your stop loss is right here, right? It waits, and then okay, so be very aware of what the market's trying to do, because these are signals for reversals. Because if you get short in here off of this, okay, and you had a perfect VWAP slap, which I gave at the end of my live stream. I said, if you do want to get short, VWAP slap right here. Okay, so you wait for it to break down, boop. You wait for the retest, boop. You get short, you're making money. Okay? So many options, just being able to identify markets, what they're doing. Who cares about the tweet? What did the tweet allow the market to do in order to give you direction? What can you take from this, right? How can you use this information to make money? Okay? We're getting drives of bullish divergence right now, so I would look for this to come back probably into the order block up in here if we are, and then maybe come down. But right now, no trade, just waiting. This does look like it's rolling over. And the thing is that we took the elevator up, so we're definitely taking the skydiving down. If we're gonna go down, it's gonna be like skydiving, really fast. So be prepared for that too. Once this starts going, pat, 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 pat. Stop losses, stop losses, stop losses. Liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. Okay, so be well aware that this can go a lot further, a lot faster. Don't get in the way of the train, right? The train was up today. Guess what? The train is down. And you look at anything like the NASDAQ, look at all the liquidity in here. Whoop. The SPY, big gap to the upside here. Whoop. Okay. What goes up must come down. Balance in the force. They want to balance the books. They don't want to let everybody and their brother and sister enjoy a free ride, right? Free ride, no thank you, right? So these guys all in here are in trouble. That's what I'm seeing, OC. What are you seeing?
Oh man, something that kind of like I don't know why. Is my internet crappy or is yours also kind of like a comes and goes? Because I
Mine's
lost you
good.
for us. Yours is good. For me, you froze for a
Too much
second. Let me
alpha.
too much alpha. Yeah. Wait.
Open up! FBI!
They came for you, bro.
Sorry.
All right.
I'm
so
Canadian.
let's take a look at.
I just
what
like
is it?
maple syrup. Sorry.
Oh, you're
I'm
Canadian. You're right, man. They cannot
I'm
get
sorry,
you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Let's see if he kicks me out because sometimes he does. And today seems to be one of those days. Let's see. No, it's all good. All right, perfect. So let's go back and let's take a look at what's happening here. It's not about the breakout, it's about the retest, right? I mean, we know that. I've been drilling your heads for a long time at this point, right? So what do we have? First, let's go over the blue candles, right? Actually, what I wanted to see was a much more prolonged range, right? In fact, I wanted to see a breakout of the trend line, a retest back to previous lows, making a tiny higher low, right? And then breakout, retest, off we go. Seems to me that we are just getting into a hurry with the breakout retest, all right? So it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest. We're pulling back now as we speak right now with this itty bitty candle. Well, that is a 4-hour candle in here. And let me just tell you something. I don't like this as much. I mean, I'm long since here, right? I did another long in here. I'm gonna be pulling that up in 4 hours. So this to me is taking a lot of, I mean, it's just very profitable. But why I don't like it? It is because it didn't had enough chance to, I would say, rip everybody off, right? Yesterday we were talking about getting people hurt, right? And not because I was mean or I enjoyed it, but because usually that's what happened before something important happens. That for me would be, I mean, for the best case scenario, will be ripping everybody out and then going up. But in this case, would be maybe ripping everybody up before going down. Would that be the case? I don't know. I can't help to be a little bit bearish at this point. I'm still bullish, of course. We are above dynamic reactor, clear sign of bullishness. We are above the zero line, clear sign of bullishness. We have a big body candle going through dynamic reactor, big sign of bullishness, all right? So the next thing is, and I want to say, guys, that Alex already made the heavy lifting. Why? Because I cannot do an analysis on one single candle, right? I can do an analysis on a big pattern in here in the 4 hours. So the next thing to do right here with these two candles, it's going to the lower time frames. We already have seen that in lower time frames, thanks to Alex, that we have a triple top. We are falling through a trend line, and we're coming back down to some liquidity zones. Not only that, he also showed us a beautiful balloon dog pattern, right? In fact, if I should bet on it, I would bet to a retest here with that beautiful head of that balloon dog pattern, and then rip off to the upside. That's what I would like to say, all right? That's what I would like to have at this point. But such an early breakout tends to tell me, you know what, things are too good to be truth. And in crypto, I got my ass kicked, or my balls kicked too many times. To, you know, when I start looking something that, hey, you know, this looks awesome, I just start covering your nuts, right? Because you know something is coming. You're already used to getting kicked or getting a rock pull, right? So is that maybe the feeling of my side? Could be, but let's just stick to to dynamic vector, sorry, to technical analysis. All right, let's go back to somewhere that I can maybe do a little bit more TA, which is going to be the 4 hours here. So let's go back to the 4 hours. I know it seems a little bit obnoxious. Let me just zoom out so you can see what I'm seeing here in a much better scenario. And what I'm seeing here is a huge trend line, right? It's not about the breakout, it's about the retest. Off you go. Again, such a big breakout, it means that we're breaking through something. What do we break through? The upper range. What the hell are you talking about? Well, then let's go back into this area right here, this chart. This is an analysis based on the Wyckoff method. And I know this is the other thing that I just keep talking about, but remember that right now we're on TA Talk. This is a public session, so maybe some of you guys are not following through the private classes. So I think we're breaking through the channel here, and then we need this retest. Remember, I long in here with half of a position, long in here with a full position, and take profits in here. How does that look like in Bitcoin? I long my first entry here, I long my second entry here, got stopped out, and then long back at here and took my profits, full profits from here to here. And that's it. This one's still open with a quarter of position and it's making me money. At this at this point in the 4 hour, what do we got? Maybe we're breaking a trend line. We're not there yet, but we're surely going through something important, which is that this trend line that we have been forming in the 4 hours. All right, let's go back to a more cleaner chart. Here it is. And another thing that we can see, it is that I draw a megaphone pattern. What is it important in that megaphone pattern? Not really the breakouts and stuff, but the confluence that we can grab from that megaphone. Where is that confluence? Well, then let me hide everything so we can see it clearly. I think this is gonna be a little bit better. All right, and also get rid of this because I was just calculating how much in profits I was just to show you, somewhere around 174% minus, divide that by 4 and subtract 3/4, and that's how much I am. So what is it now? Well, we have the median on the megaphone pattern. We have a double bottom pattern for the reach and consolidation of that megaphone. We range on the confluence between the megaphone and the trend line. So don't tell me that this is not making confluence, right? And then we are on my previous area of resistance or support that, remember, this was our nemesis. Remember here, it took me by surprise in here. And what I did, I averaged my price downwards. And then the first pullback, I was not able to get out because I was asleep. But the second one, we surely got it out and run with profits. This is where we say that I bought at the top and then I still make a little bit of profit because we're patient, we have a strategy, and we execute that strategy. All right, what's happening right now? We are back in here. And I want to call this back because I think Alex yesterday on the class showed it perfectly, or explained it perfectly. So look at how many times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how many tries took to break this range. All right, when we broke it, big body candle, little bearish pennant, continuation with an inverted head and shoulders, V-shaped recovery, and once again, 1, 2, 3 times. How many more times do we need to break that through? That is unknown. But as we're moving, maybe 1 or 2, right? Why is that? If I bring up now my indicators, let me just hide everything. There we go, and bring up my indicators. I not only should be having, and I have it right here, a support to start creating the balloon dog, all right? Where is that balloon dog? There we go. Maybe here, right? So as you can see, the confluence is there. I know it's a little messy. Here it is. You can see my resistance, my area of liquidity, my support in here. What else do I have in there? Let me just make it a little bit more obvious. Here we go. We have an area of smart money entry somewhere around here and here. So for the worst case scenario, and you'll see that I have my alert at 88,776. For my worst case scenario, I think we could be having a big pennant like that to create that balloon dog face. All right. So as you can see, I'm expecting 2 possibilities here. One of those is a big rejection back to the somewhere around the 88,700, and the other one just being quietly bouncing out of the right now zone, which is not happening at this point, and I don't think it's going to happen. So option number 1, it's already discarded. What's going to be option number 2? It is somewhere around the 88,700 as we have flip of the ribbon. All right, that could happen just a little bit earlier, and that is because, there we go, we have a trend line in an area of smart money in here. So maybe that area of smart money can play it out a little bit faster than my trend line, or that my area of liquidity that is being built from, look at this peak, look at this peak, look at this area of confluence, look at that peak, right? Therefore, I do expect a support resistance to be plotted right there. So there we go. This is my entry zone for the next pullback on the 4 hours. Could we maybe bounce earlier? Could we maybe bounce right now? Yeah, we could. Are we going to? I don't think so. Look at how strong that candle is, right? And look at how weak we have that retrace. We're not close to have a flip of the ribbon. We still need to push through to then have that flip of the ribbon. So flip of the ribbon, add support, that will make my next bullish entry. But also remember, and this is what I'm trying to tell you guys, this could transform in a very painful scenario. What would that painful scenario be? We already have gone through. Let me just bring it back up. That painful scenario will be going to visit this trend line for a breakout retest. All right. So still be very careful right there in the market. And I want to also bring up something. Yesterday, we were talking about maybe buying Ethereum, hashtag F Ethereum, but still, now it's playing out as it should. So let me first, just because I have it, bring up ADA. ADA, it is reacting as we were expecting. Right to resistance, back to support. Look at my first alert at 678. For first alert, that doesn't mean entry. Why? Because what I'm looking for, it is a goose heading here, which is a little retracement for a further move to the upside before a big retracement. All right. Now that we have this out of the way, let's go and take a look at F Ethereum. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Fidelity Ethereum. There we go. It has burst, there we go, out of the previous range. And I was yesterday, damn, Ethereum needs to do something, needs to get out of his ass and at least break previous highs before I start considering doing something with it. It did. Look at that. Beautiful. Then we are to rejection. And what are we going to? We're going to maybe a dynamic reactor. Let me see if I can get it working here. Maybe a dynamic reactor support if we got it right there, because I do see this one. Maybe this is the 15 minutes. No, this is the 4 hour. So maybe we could be going for a dynamic reactor support. All right. Let me just fix this because I have new data. And this is my dynamic reactor. It's not that far away from what I was expecting, but maybe just slightly. There we go. So Ethereum, not looking bad, to be honest. Not looking bad. Another one that I want to take on, it is gold, because gold has been pumping like crazy. We have two analysis. This is Monday's analysis, all right? Why? Because we were looking at our predictive ranges. Let's just give it a second for the predictive ranges to populate. There we go. And we were looking at these other ones. Let me see if I can fix those. And wait a second. And no, this is the VPVR. Sorry about that. Oh, come on. For some reason, my internet is crappy today, as always. All right, perfect. This was the predictive range that we were looking at, right? So maybe overshooting a little bit onto that golden predictive range, right? And then retracing. When we start seeing where I also told you guys in here, when we reclaim previous highs, if you feel like you're missing out, breaking through previous highs, when you reclaim it and close it, that could be your re-entry as long as we have a flip of the ribbon. And what we did had a flip of the ribbon. So what you do, you take profits your next entry here, your next resistance, move your stop to entry, and then let it rip. In this case, it ripped to the opposite way, all right? So what are we expecting? Look at that, going all the way back down here to dynamic reactor for then maybe a dead cat bounce, all right? Why is it happening? Because I explained yesterday that this could be just newer traders. What does that mean with that? Not better, not worse, just newer. Where Bitcoin is also an important asset. So between gold and Bitcoin, I think there is a rotation of capital that we are doing. I am doing that. I am selling gold, I'm buying gold, I'm selling Bitcoin and buying Bitcoin, which means whatever revenue I get from both, I do inject them back and forth between those two assets, right? And just like me, there might be many of you guys in there. Let's take a look at yesterday's prediction. All right, on gold. Yesterday's prediction was a little bit more accurate. There we go. Why? Because we have the breakout, we have the big body candle, and based on that big body candle, we can start looking our predictive ranges. Again, same predictive ranges that Monday. What happened? We just consider maybe a little bit of an overshoot, and we do first entry, half of a position if we have flip of the ribbon. Did we have flip of the ribbon? No. All right, second entry at where we predicted before, dynamic reactor, if we have flip of the ribbon. Are we there on dynamic reactor? No. Do we have flip of the ribbon already? No. Have we drawn that before? Yes, look at that. There is the flip of the ribbon, right, that we are expecting. So let me just put it back in here where it belongs. Let me just get rid of all of these things because it's going to be getting in the way for tomorrow's analysis and follow up, all right? So there we go. That's what we're expecting. Are we going to be having an entry here? Most likely. Look at that ribbon. It is getting into flipping zones, right, at the bottom. Where to? On some support areas. Is this your chance to maybe jump back into a trade? Yes, absolutely. Why? Because that big of a rally, take that big of a retracement, and at least a dead cat bounce for the worst case scenario. So I will be looking to grab some more gold in here, push it TP1, TP2, and off we go. Why? Because at this point I'm preparing for my worst case scenario, and I already bought gold very far back into where was it, man? I believe last year, and also was February this year. Yeah, somewhere around here, and around here I bought. So as you can see, I'm still very much in profits. So I'm not gonna be leaving this one, and I'm gonna be grabbing a new set of gold options, not options, but man, how do you call this? Whatever, electronic gold, right? And then I'm gonna be trading those in here, just buying and selling. No leverage on this one in here, by the way. So that's what I'm seeing both on Bitcoin and the rest of the market. What are your expectations, Alex, for this rest of the week?
Awesome. Yeah, I think so. I got a couple of ideas, really. Just The thing is that we're overextended, right? We must understand that, right? That's important. And then there's still uncertainty in the market, right? So if we're looking at the markets all around, right? The SPY, for example, right? So, you know, really we need to reclaim where we're hitting our head right now. Okay. You can see in here, this is basically, we've retested 2024 high, right? So we've full round tripped here. So we want to see the S&P get up above this area here and close above here. What? Oh, my wife came in, she yelled at me. Oh, I don't know what I did. Oh well, let's keep going. So we want to see the S&P close above here. We don't see that yet, right? That's so important. When we look here too, if we go dynamic reactor, we flipped on the daily, right? There's a lot of work to do here to get above on the daily. If we go to the 12-hour, still a lot of work to do. Like it's rolling over. Now, when we go down so aggressively, we can spring back up just as aggressively. That's the hope, right? The hope is that we go, because we went down so hard, we can bounce so hard. Okay, it's very much a spring, but nonetheless, we are to assume that we are bearish, in my opinion, until we start closing above 5,500. Now there has been a little bit of decoupling on the stock market, but not much. Like honestly, people are like decouple, decouple, decouple. It's like their favorite word lately. Bitcoin is leveraged NASDAQ. Okay, what is it? Let's just take a look here. Okay, so we decoupled for a little bit, right? Here's our little decoupling. It's not much. Okay, it's not much. But look, it's dumping. We're dumping, right? You go on an hourly here, right? Our one decoupling the whole time was right here. That's it. Everything else pretty similar, right? So it's leveraged NASDAQ as Bitcoin. And now we're right back to where we started. Boom, boom. All right. So the NASDAQ also has a lot of work to do. If we look at the NASDAQ here, we go out on the daily and we get rid of Bitcoin here. Still a lot of work to do. Like I said, very aggressive downtrend. Are we breaking out yet? I don't think so. I don't think so. Does this look like a bottom? I don't think so either, right? I mean, look at this top. This is a nice top. This is not a nice bottom, right? So look, we want to see us get above here, reclaim 19.3. This is kind of like my line in the sand right now. Very similar to the S&P. Okay. We go over to something like total or USDT dominance. Okay, this is important to look at too. We were expecting this. I haven't looked at this in a while because we failed to make a higher high, right? We said that. We failed to make a higher high in here. But this is still just a retracement to a higher uptrend, okay? Because we need to assume we're looking at this on a higher term time frame, right? We can zoom in and yada, yada, yada. We've come down. We've swept the low. We're looking for a bounce. Yeah, great. But still, we're still looking for this move. That's the idea. And this trades opposite to Bitcoin. This is the all-time high, right? So can we break down? Can we see consecutive breakdowns, or will we see bottoming structure here? I'm looking around 4.6%. Can we see something in here? That would mean sell, get out, because we're going down. Okay, so there's a couple of signs you can have to prepare yourself for what's about to happen. We just try to forecast the best we can. This is a short opportunity that I am looking for right now. Am I going to take it? A bit bullish of a push right now. I'm not going to get in the way of this just yet. Retest to previous lows. Bollinger Band extreme, trying to push out here. No trade for now. But with Bitcoin, like I said before, right? We have the big wall in front of us here. We're in a downtrend right here. We have our swing high to swing low golden pocket right here. That's that pink box. Okay, so make sure you add the pink box to your charts. 96 300. Okay, to 97 400. Okay, big rejection zone, and we are very overextended. So we are looking for this, but we can very much have this. This is still very much on the table. Okay. Because all we are is at the top of a range right now. If this is our range, we are at the top. This would be our premium where we are looking for shorts. This is our hot dog. This is our bun. Okay. However, there's some stuff, some nice catalysts coming in recently, giving us a little bit of relief. But don't get it twisted. People are still scared. I will be. This is me. I have over 300,000 invested in altcoins right now. Okay? I will be cutting that in half as we push up here. Take a little bit of profit. Some of them are in profit. Some of them are underwater, like 5-10%. But I will be taking some off because of the uncertainty, right? I would rather save 150 than lose whatever 250, because that's what will happen. If we go into bear market and we come back down to here, your altcoins are going to shit. And you'll be panic selling here. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm preparing for the worst. So that means I'm going to be hedging a little bit as we push up here, because that's a responsible thing to do. Okay? So if this, then that, we need to reclaim this, flip this to support, push up here. If we are going to push up, I think we SFP that and we're done. That's my opinion. I think we SFP the high and then we kill everybody. That's my idea. But what I do think the most pain is we just hang out here. And we bloop up, we come back down, and then we go, everybody ready, and then buy. And we SFP the high here in October. But I think we might be early. I think we might get the blow off top in July. That's my target. Is I'm looking here. July. You guys can hold me accountable for that. That'd be funny. Okay, July. We'll see. Top in July.
Nice.
We'll see. But just trying to be prepared, right? Trying to be prepared. I mean, I'm in profits. I bought Bitcoin down. Here, guys. I'm not worried at all. I'm up big. Okay. But I'm preparing, right? So lots to go on, right? Lots going on right now. So it's like, be objective. As traders in our HODL bags, we need to separate the two. That is the number one thing. Okay? That's the number one thing. And I think we had a question here. How are you? I'm good. I know you guys layer different market dynamics. What is your favorite market dynamics indicator? So for me, just want to answer this because I'm a short-term time trader. I really like order blocks. Order blocks, I think, is like my favorite. But this is my main go-to here. So for me, I'll have order blocks on. Okay. Just change this to 5. I will have liquidity zones, which are very similar to prime blocks. I just prefer liquidity zones because I'm used to them. Okay. VWAP. VWAP is my best friend. If you know me, I love my VWAP. Okay. I'll turn on my point of control just to know where where the hot dog is. This kind of just tells me where the hot dog is, where I don't want to be trading, right? But that's what I really like to keep on my charts. And then obviously you need to do your due diligence with flipping through, finding key levels. That short would have been nice. AOC looks so far so good.
Yeah.
Still a little bit overextended, but retest to previous lows all in here, right? Breaking down. We're teaching, so we can't be trading, right? We got to be careful here.
That's
Very
what we
aggressive
said.
push up too. You got to be careful here because you can come for this high still. And then you get used to building strategies around your order blocks, your liquidity zones, right? Like this would have been your liquidity zone this morning. I think I have it marked out. Yeah, see, look. I marked them out myself. I like to just be able to toggle everything on and off. I'm not going to mark out this because I'm a scalper. That's too big of an area. I'd rather isolate price. We're looking down here. So look, I'm interested in these areas, right? And whether price reacts in here and bounces, whether price pushes back up, gets rejected, and we come down again. If this, then that. Always preparing and then using price action to tell me which direction we can go. That's going to be critical. Price action is going to be your most data-rich, informative, live information, right? I use the indicators to give me areas where I want to take trades, and then I make a decision. Right? I did not get short here because of how aggressively we pushed up. If we had just chopped in here, retest, and then we came up in here, time is a factor too, right? This is really quick. People who are getting short here, it came back for them to continue, in my opinion. But this is very aggressive. You don't want to get in the way of this because this can just keep going. So that's what I use typically. And then sometimes for me, I'll throw on Bollinger Bands, which is very useful for scalping. So I like to treat it like whenever you're near the edge, you want to take it to the middle. So you can have your Bollinger Band, right? Here's your middle. So whenever you're at the edge, you can short into the middle, you can long into the middle. Just like we were here, you're outside the Bollinger Band, so you can long that into the middle of the Bollinger Band. You can short this into the middle of the Bollinger Band, and it works pretty well. Pretty well. I like Bollinger Bands. Very scalp-friendly tool. Right here, right here, right here, right here. Okay, these are all trades, right? What is the price action? The price action is what you see on your screen. Price action is just the candles in front of you. And you can turn on, if you're not used to reading price action, make sure you go into your market structure section down in here. And you turn all this on so you can understand higher highs, higher lows, lower lows, change of character, all that stuff in there as well. That's going to help you see what's bullish, what's bearish. That's really going to allow you to read structure and price action together, which is what you need to do. And those are my favorite things. What are your favorite things, OC?
Oh, I'm muted.
I didn't even realize. I thought you were just staring into the abyss.
No, man. All right. I was saying, dude, I was just talking. All right. I cannot talk about my favorite things in here, but I can absolutely talk about my favorite indicators. Something that there's two questions that we have. It is one from Creative for My Soul. It says, what is your favorite market dynamics indicators? And also, DagaDT is asking for the video where you show your layering system, and if maybe we can, there's maybe nowhere to be found. So, would you be willing to create another video with me tomorrow talking about how we layer our indicators? And well, maybe we can just call that layering system and public and make it public here for tomorrow. Would you be up for it?
I'm down for whatever, man. You know that. I'm easy.
Perfect. Absolutely. So let me just answer that question very quickly. What are my favorite indicators for market dynamics? I do have a couple of favorite ones. Let me go through them. Those are predictive ranges, as you have seen, right? So, oh, not this one. Where is it? This one's here. Predictive ranges, order blocks. I also use predictive ranges and liquidity zones and VPVR. Other than that, I do like a lot trend lines because they make my life easy, right? And then, of course, I like, let me show it to you. Here it is, support and resistances. Oh man, where are my support and resistances? Here they are. These ones here. So support and resistances, predictive ranges, order blocks, liquidity zones, and VPVR. Those are my favorite indicators in the market dynamic session. But I also have a couple of other ones. Like recently, I've came to love a lot the Fibonacci ranges that we offer. That is a free indicator that you can look into here. Indicators, they are you can find them by just typing chart prime, and then all of the chart primes indicators will be available for you. All of those are free indicators, so take a look at the ones that you like the most and add them. For my side, that will be basically it. We're getting at the end of the class. So Alex, what are your favorite indicators in the market dynamics? And also maybe let's wrap up the class.
Order blocks, liquidity zones. I like the quantum bands too. I like the predictive ranges are pretty good. I like those as well. And that magical 8-minute dynamic reactor. That's the magical one. But where are the predictive ranges located? So let's look here. Do, 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 do. Predictive ranges. I got to do it with the Tom Crown voice. Predictive ranges. In here. So I like to include premium and discount with the predictive ranges as well. It's in liquidity analysis in here. It just helps you, in my opinion, it helps you isolate price. So look, we've tapped discount right now. We're pushing up above the yellow, trying to get up into the equilibrium. I don't. Okay, so like it'll fix your screen so you really you know where the tops and the bottoms are, right? Uh, premium, equilibrium. We know we're at the bottom here, retesting the lows here, continuation up here, and it'll give you. What is good too is they'll give you take profits. So if you're pushing, if let's say you're long here, right? Take profit 1 should be here. Take profit 2, and that'll really help you kind of isolate price. Like whenever I'm looking at where price is, I'm always trying to take the bigger image and isolate it into where price is, right? So where's the golden pocket? Where's the fair value gap? Where's the yada yada yada. So where are areas that price can react so I can take trades at those areas and make money? Always trying to isolate the price down. That's why we always do top down analysis, find out key levels. Top down is always going to give us stronger levels. short-term time frame is going to give us weaker levels. So just understand that as well. Okay, so looking to come up to this equilibrium up in here, come for those highs. If not, I look for a retest back down and continuation out. Like just really allowing you to condense, right? To squish price into an area where you can possibly look for a trade. And that's enough out of me, man. I think we've covered a
Absolutely.
lot today, man.
Oh yeah, we did. So it's been an exciting day. Also, XXDC, I have the most expensive subscription, but it seems that I have no access to some of the channels. Seems like you have not yet paired your Discord because you have no caller in your name. Nonetheless, you already have a ticket. I already have confirmed that with the support team. Go check it out on the left of your server. So your left zone, you should be seeing a ticket and a number, something like 4155 or something around those numbers. 4154, 4152, 4151, something around those. I'm not sure which one is yours at this moment, but check out for that ticket. They're already waiting for you. Fritz should be the one fixing your subscription. If for any reason you need extra help, please add me at OC Guy on the help channel, and I'll be right there with you, my friend, and get you going as fast as possible. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining today. And I guess, as always, see you guys tomorrow.